really trying to be more sociable. A very long line, so I'm guessing it tastes good. If you're a single mother, I know it's really hard. Like, trust me, I know it's hard.
You're 22 at a handle. Girl, I wanna handle you. Put my hands upon you.
Petals, I don't eat petals. And there are none with sweet potato alone. I should buy some beetroot to make some beetroot salad. This is a really good source of iron. Alright, let's get some snacks for the kids. Although I don't want to get them snacks because they're not behaving right now. I try to buy like the bandit snacks, and I don't really buy snacks that have a lot of coloring. So, I mean, this has coloring, but not as much as like all this. Just the other day, this popcorn was $4.99. Now it's $6. What's the reason for the price increase? My God. They no longer have snacks that are just $5. Everything is $6 or $5 something. My daughter likes these new cheese and chili chips, plantain chips. And now they have a cream and onion, so I'll try that. The sweet peppers are priced really good this week. $15. You see this one? Oh, see, $16.11. I picked up one for $16.48. Price pretty good this week. Hey guys, so as a single mom who lives on her own, I have to have order and I have to have a schedule of how I do things. So usually the night before I would organize what I can. So things like my kids' water and their juice, I'll put that in the freezer. Their lunch is always packed and in the fridge the night before. So when I wake up in the morning, I just to take those things out and pack their lunch kit, and things like their fruit and snacks, I could always organize that in the morning. Things like ironing and laying out socks and vests and pants and all those things, I also try to do that the night before, because somehow in the morning the time just seems to get away from you. Good morning guys. So it is a very gloomy Thursday morning, the Thursday after Carnival. Do they say Ash Thursday? Like what do you call like the time after Carnival? But I just dropped off my kids to school and I am heading to work now. This is a morning where I could be in my bed sleeping because it's raining, but we need money to live, so I'm on my way to work. Hey guys, so it is Friday morning. Don't mind the background and don't mind the dirty mirror, but it is Friday. I'm very thankful for this short work week, so I'm about to head out. It's the weekend. Morning guys, happy Friday. Whew, so I am running on about 5 hours of sleep. 5 hours of sleep last night and then 5 hours of sleep the previous night, so 10 hours of sleep in, that's what, 48 hours. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm so grateful. Today is Friday. I have a little church event to go to tonight. The women's ministry is doing a little meetup. Since I started the church and since I got baptized, I really haven't fellowship much. You all know I'm a loner. So I'm really trying to be more sociable. I'm going to be honest, I have a little bit of anxiety because over the years I've developed anxiety for meeting new persons, and that's just all because of bad experiences with people. I am generally a very extroverted person, but over the years I developed some anxiety when it comes to meeting new people and talking to them, mainly because of trust issues and all these things. So I'm a little anxious about tonight, but hopefully it goes well. I think I'm going to be probably one of the few younger women there, so hopefully I can talk to people. Yeah, pray for me, guys. I'm going to need it. Here at Eddie Hart Savannah, at least I think this is Eddie Hart Savannah, the one with all the food. Yeah, I'm not a East gal, so I don't know these places properly, but I believe this is Eddie Hart, right? I am about to come out of the car and go. I have no idea where they are, but I think I can find them. Remember I was telling you guys earlier about feeling anxious. I don't know why I'm so anxious. Usually when I go to church, I just sit, taking the word, I'll say little hellos and all that, but I really talk to anybody. So honestly, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be kind of awkward for me because, yeah, my anxiety is at an all-time high, but I think it should be okay. Most of the women, I'm a mature woman. I'm not really sure if there's anyone closer to my age or that much younger than me, but we'll see. So let me go get my chair out of the trunk and go, because I'm already very late. I honestly don't know where to go to get something to eat, and I hate buying food and it doesn't taste good, so I don't know what to do. What the hell? Different shop. No, oh, this place has a very long line. Lorry Land or something. A very long line. So I'm guessing it tastes good, but I don't want to stand up in that line right now. Hey guys, so I just made it back home from the women's ministry meetup, and all I can say is God has a very funny way of doing things. God has a serious sense of humor. So when I got there, everybody was very nice. As I told you guys, I was feeling anxious because that's just how I feel now going into meeting new people, or not necessarily meeting them because I've met them already, I go to church with them, but actually having to speak to them, I was a bit anxious. But everybody was really nice. So the topic they were discussing, not to give away too much, was about marriage and sex in marriage, and different things that are okay, things that are not okay, like just all those things. What I would say, it is one of the first times I've actually been to a church that actually speaks about marriage, sex life. Growing up in church, at least the church I grew up in, which is the Adventist church, they acted like marriage and sex were like these huge secrets, and once you were single or too young or whatever, like you're not supposed to speak about it. I don't know if things have changed in the Adventist faith since, but when I was growing up, all of that was taboo, right? So yeah, that was the topic, and I was sitting down there and I was listening to them, and they were talking about things in marriage and marriage and marriage, and I was like, well, I'm not married. So I said that. I said, I'm not married, so I can't really relate to a lot of the things that you guys are speaking about. And what I went on to say was basically that, as a single woman with 2 children, I'm often judged a lot. And most of the times when people speak about marriage, they always think of single mothers as like last choice or second choice as compared to women who don't have children, right? Like as a single mother, I have my own place, I have my own car, I have a good job, I have multiple certificates, doing a second degree, like I'm doing all these things, and people will still choose someone or believe that someone else is better just because they don't have children. So that's what I basically, kind of told them. And, I broke down in the moment because I was like, well, in my mind at least, I was, it kind of hit me like, yeah, life is really unfair because I get judged so much just because I have two children. When it comes to marriage, they prayed for me and all those things, and I really appreciated it. And that's why I said, like, God has a real funny sense of humor. Because just a few weeks in church, they were praying for marriage and all these things, and I didn't realize, like, within myself, even though, I'm honestly, I still don't know if I really want to get married or whatnot. But I realized that a lot of the things people, said about me or just about single mothers on a whole, I had internalized. So while I know I'm a beautiful young woman, educated, can hold a conversation, have a bright future ahead of me, God spare life, I've let society basically beat me down to think that because I'm a single mother, I'm less than or I'm unworthy. That's not true. First things first, being married isn't the beginning and end all of life. I'm doing so many other things in my life, so whether the Lord decides to send a husband or not, or I never get married, or whatever the case is, life still goes on. There's so much more to life, you understand? But what I want to bring to light is the fact that women, because single fathers don't get this sort of energy, it's the women. Single mothers get singled out and judged, but single fathers, they don't go through that, So what I really want to say, because I've just been rambling for about 2-3 minutes now, but what I really want to say is, one, if you're a single mother, I know it's really hard, like, trust me, I know it's hard. It is not easy taking care of even one kid on your own, and I have two. I acknowledge it's damn hard, but trust and believe you are doing the best that you can, right? I know people might say, like, you can do more, or you and yourself might believe that you can do more, but you're doing the best that you can, especially with the time, resources, and energy that you have. And that's something I used to beat myself up about, because there's certain things I wanted to do with my kids or give my kids, and at one time I couldn't give it to them, and I used to beat myself up about it so much. Now those little buggers spoil, and I feel like I need to take away some things, but with whatever you're doing, I know you love your kids and you're doing the best for them, so don't ever feel as though you're a bad parent. And sometimes as women, we feel guilty because we are not giving our children that family life or whatnot, but you have to realize we didn't make this decision on our own. It was us and the other party, so don't beat yourself up about everything, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, focus on yourself and your kids. Focus on yourself and your kids. Of course, pray to God if it is you want to get married, if it is you want a husband, if it is you want a partner, that's all fine and well. But until that day comes, focus on yourself. If you drop down and die, God forbid, in the morning, life is going to go on as usual. So please, I beg of you, take care of yourself. And taking care of yourself doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to go out. Sometimes I lock myself in my bedroom. Okay, and I tell my kids, listen, for the next hour, don't speak to me. Once the house is not burning down, once there's not an emergency, don't speak to me. I need that time to decompress, take a nap, doom scroll through TikTok, whatever it is you want to do it, but take care of yourself. And last but not least, and I probably should have started with this first, but the last thing I want to say is definitely work on your relationship with God. Even if you think you have a real good relationship with God, because I find I have a good relationship with God, but clearly there are things that He needs to work on within me, and that can only happen if it is, I deepen my relationship with Him. So praying more, getting in your word more, surrounding yourself with like-minded people in the word. That is so important. That is so important, because a lot of the times we try to get closer to God and we're surrounded by people who not really on all of that God thing. You understand? So definitely work on your relationship with God, because trust and believe. I've been in situations where I felt like I would never be able to live through. And I'm talking about specifically when it comes to my kids. Like, I've been in some situations and I cry out to God. I was like, God, what's going on? Like, I'm drowning. You need to rescue me. And the kind of testimonies I could give, you know, because I mean, look at me. And everything isn't perfect, but I'm not in those situations anymore. So definitely work on, you know, deepening your relationship with God. And one other thing just to add, it's not a point exactly. If it is you're a single mom and you know you want to get married and all those things, in your prayers to God, please be very specific about what you want. And this goes for anybody really and truly, a man, woman. If you want a partner, be very specific in your prayers to God. Don't just go, oh gosh, God, I want a wife. Oh gosh, God, I want a husband. No. You need to be very specific. One thing I definitely want is a husband whose heart is after God. Like, he's the one who making sure we go to church. He's the one who making sure, you know, we have family devotional time. And of course, I will be there making sure too. But I don't want to have a partner where I have to force them to read the Bible or force them to go to church. I want both of us to, you know, see God as a priority. So be very specific in what you're asking for when you are praying for your spouse. Alright guys, so that brings me to the end of this short weekly vlog, although I think it's going to be a bit lengthy because I've kind of been yapping for the last 10 minutes, so I have to go and kind of edit that a little bit. But guys, if you made it this far in the video, drop a comment below and leave some encouraging words for, you know, the single moms and single dads out there who may be looking for a spouse. So as usual, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be posting this video on Saturday and I will have my regular weekend vlog on Monday, so be sure to come back for the video on Monday, right? Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one.